Hello everybody, bonjour tout le monde, bienvenue sur ce live spécial Johanna BASFORD pour la sortie de 30 jours de créativité. Welcome on this live stream special guest star Johanna BASFORD for the release of the French edition of 30 Days of Creativity. Hello Johanna.
Hello, thank you for having me. Lovely to talk to you.
It's wonderful to have you here. How are you doing today?
I am very well. It is very cold in Scotland today. We have snow, so freezing.
Oh. Alors, Johanna nous dit qu'elle est très heureuse de vous voir et qu'il fait très froid en Écosse aujourd'hui. Ils ont de la neige. Vous vous rendez compte? De la neige, some snow. So we have an interview with the questions of your French followers. And of course, all the English-speaking followers are most welcome because together we are going to speak English and I'm going to translate your answers into French. Donc, on est ici pour répondre aux questions du public francophone de Johanna BASFORD. Je vais bien sûr accueillir aussi le public anglophone puisque nous allons dire toutes les questions en anglais et je vais tout traduire en français. So during that time, maybe we could color something in 30 days. What do you think?
Perfect, good idea.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you the first question while I'm using the other camera so I can color on the screen. So the first question is 30 Days of Creativity is not, strictly speaking, a coloring book, but it's more than that. And how did you came up with the idea of making 30 Days of Creativity?
Well, the idea began during lockdown, and I wanted to use that time to do something positive and good.
Voilà, ok. L'idée du livre, en fait, est venue à Johanna pendant le confinement et ça lui est venu à l'idée de faire quelque chose de positif et de bon pendant ce confinement. Chantal, on peut switcher sur l'autre caméra. I'm going to switch on the other camera. So I'm going to color in the book. 1 minute.
I'm going to try.
So here is the beautiful book, French edition, and you see.
Oh.
1 minute. I have to cut the sound on the other side. I hope it will work like this. Sorry. The sentence, the quotes that you have put are translated into French, so that's very, very interesting. And today we are going to color the first page. Do you want to color with me?
I will. I have to apologize. Just be désolé. I am on my laptop, so I can't flip my camera, but I'll color and then show you.
Perfect, perfect. We can do like that. Alors, Johanna va colorier avec nous la page des fruits ici et elle va colorier en restant face écran pendant qu'elle répond à vos questions et puis elle vous montrera petit à petit le résultat du coloriage. So, I'm going to ask you during that time the second question. I've heard you saying, inspiration is not a warehouse, it's a factory. Would you tell us more about it?
Yes. So, I do not believe we have a set number of ideas in our head. We have to make the ideas. And the more you are creative, the more ideas you will have. So it is like a cycle.
Ok, alors donc Johanna nous dit que la créativité, en fait, on n'a pas un stock d'idées qu'on peut garder et sortir de temps en temps. En fait, plus on crée, plus on a d'idées. Et donc, c'est ça l'idée qui dit que l'inspiration n'est pas un entrepôt, c'est une usine.
And I think a really good way to get ideas and to be more creative is to do small tasks like this, like in the new book, because you are using a different bit of your brain. So, for example, instead of scrolling on your phone, looking on Facebook, you don't get any ideas. But when you put the phone away and do a small task like this, then you're more likely to get more ideas.
Donc, l'idée de Johanna ici, c'est qu'en fait, c'est en créant qu'on a de plus en plus d'idées. Et donc, son idée, avec 30 jours de créativité, c'est de mettre de côté les autres choses qui nous prennent du temps, comme scroller sur son téléphone, par exemple. Et en faisant des petites tâches créatives comme ceci, on a de plus en plus d'idées. How wonderful! So, into your last coloring book, which is not a coloring book, there is not only coloring pages. How did you choose the other creative activities that you've put here in the book? Alors, je demande ici à Johanna, comment est-ce que vous avez choisi les activités créatives suivantes que vous avez mis dans le livre, à part le coloriage?
So, there are 30 days of creativity, and there are 30 pages that are coloring. Sorry, 15 pages which are coloring, like this, but also 15 pages which are drawing projects. So, for example, you learn how to make this.
Donc, dans le livre, nous explique Johanna, I'm going to translate. Thank you, Johanna, for your answer. Johanna nous explique que dans le livre, en fait, il y a 15 pages de coloriage, 15 pages aussi pour du dessin et 15 pages de créativité, comme celle qu'elle nous a montrée. Donc, c'est parfaitement équilibré. Et alors, ce qui est intéressant, c'est qu'au début du livre, vous avez un tracker. What's interesting is that at the beginning of the book, you have a tracker. How do we have to use this?
Yes, the tracker. So, to build a new habit, you have to do the task every day. And the more you do it, the easier the habit becomes, and you are less likely to give up or to miss a day. So every day you complete your task, you color one circle, and the aim is to not break the chain. Every day, color a circle after you've done your creative task, and then by the end of the 30 days, the daily creative work will become a habit, and you will always reach for your pencils instead of scrolling on your phone or watching TV.
Wonderful. Alors, la réponse de Johanna ici par rapport au tracker, c'est l'idée qu'il faut faire 30 jours de créativité, chaque jour quelques minutes, each day a few minutes. How many minutes do you think it's the best?
So, ideally, you would do as much as you like, but really everybody is busy. So I say 10 minutes because everybody has 10 minutes that they can pick up a pencil and color a little flower. If you try to do 1 hour, you will fail because it is too difficult. We have too much to do, too much work, too many children. But 10 minutes, you can absolutely do. It is achievable and everyone can do it.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to translate this now. Alors, le but, en fait, vous pourriez vous mettre 1 heure de créativité chaque jour, mais se mettre ça comme objectif, d'après Johanna, c'est un petit peu trop parce que personne ne peut décider que tous les jours, on va faire ça pendant 1 heure. On a tous des vies, on a tous des métiers, on a tous des enfants. Et donc, son idéal, c'est de fixer 10 minutes. Et comme ça, on le fait tous les jours. Tous les jours, 10 minutes de créativité. Et chaque fois que vous avez rempli 10 minutes de créativité, eh bien, vous cochez un petit rond dans le tracker qui est ici. Une fois que vous avez fait vos 10 minutes, donc vous pouvez, par exemple, colorier uniquement la grappe, la mûre ici, et pas faire tout le dessin. So, indeed, you can color only the berry here. If it takes 10 minutes, it's okay for the day. You don't need to achieve the whole coloring.
No, not at all. Even just a little bit is better than nothing. And I think if you aim for something small, you may end up spending half an hour, which is great. But if you aim for 1 hour, it's too much, it's too scary, you put it to one side. So aim small and build from there is what I think.
Wonderful. Alors, Johanna propose qu'il faut se mettre des objectifs pas trop gros. Vous prenez un petit objectif. Le principal, c'est vraiment de le faire tous les jours, pendant 30 jours. Et une fois que vous l'aurez fait tous les jours pendant 30 jours, eh bien, en fait, ça va mettre votre cerveau dans une attitude créative qui va faire qu'après ça, vous aurez plus envie de prendre vos crayons pour faire quelque chose de créatif que de scroller sur votre téléphone et de voir les feeds d'Instagram ou Facebook. Votre premier réflexe pour vous détendre sera plutôt de prendre votre crayon. Donc, ce livre, c'est vraiment en fait pour acquérir une nouvelle habitude. Et en 30 jours, la nouvelle habitude est acquise. So, if I've understood well, this book is really to to make a new habit in your life. And after 30 days, the habit is in your life. And it will be something natural for you to draw or create something every day, isn't it?
Exactly. I think it is very hard to start something new, even a habit which is healthy and good for you. So, for example, anyone who has ever joined a gym knows it's difficult at the start to go every day or even, twice a week. So, you start small and you build on that habit until it becomes nature to you, or second nature, we would say here. So, it's a way to introduce creativity that is fun and accessible so that it can become part of your lifestyle.
Wonderful. It's really a wonderful way to introduce creativity in everybody's life, even if in very busy lives. Donc,
Yes.
Johanna nous explique vraiment que créer cette habitude, comme quand on commence une nouvelle activité, un nouveau sport, au début, c'est difficile, on se met un objectif 1 fois ou 2 fois par semaine. Et vraiment, c'est ici, en créant cette habitude, avec le fait de faire une petite tâche chaque jour, celle qui vous inspire le plus. Le livre vous propose plein de tâches différentes. Ça, c'est vraiment le but du livre, c'est que chaque jour, vous créez une nouvelle habitude de créativité. Alors, on va passer aux questions de votre audience francophone. Now we are going to ask the question of your French followers. One of the question is when you create a new coloring book, how many hours a day are you drawing?
Well,
more than 10 minutes, I guess.
Yeah. It would take 10 years to make a book if I did 10 minutes a day. I would say usually I get to the studio about 9:30 a.m. and I'm here till about 5:30 p.m. But in between, I do other tasks and admin. But it takes about 4 months to make a book, usually.
About how many months?
4
months. OK. Alors, pour faire un nouveau livre de coloriage, Johanna travaille en général au studio de 9h30 du matin à 5h30 de l'après-midi et ça prend en moyenne 4 mois de faire un nouveau livre de coloriage. And for now, you are currently working on the next one, which will be called Rooms of Wonder. I think you have finished drawing the last page.
I have, thankfully. That one took much longer than 4 months because I think last year we did 2 books. So usually 1 book per year, but last year we did Worlds of Wonder and 30 Days of Creativity. So it was very, very busy, which meant I didn't have as much time to do drawing. So Rooms of Wonder took a long time, but it's all done now, all finished. In fact,
Wonderful.
would you like to see some pictures?
Oh, yes, we do. Johanna nous propose
I'll
de
get
nous
you
montrer.
some.
Perfect. During that time, I translate. Johanna nous propose de nous montrer quelques pages de son nouveau livre qui va s'appeler Rooms of Wonder, qui veut dire pièces de merveille, littéralement, en français. Ça, c'est vraiment incroyable et imprévu. That's incredible and unforeseen. So I can't wait to see some pages of the new book. Donc, en général, un nouveau livre prend 4 mois, mais pour celui-là, ça a pris un petit peu plus que 4 mois pour le créer parce que Johanna a sorti 2 livres la même année, World of Wonder et 30 jours de créativité. Et du coup, ça a pris plus que 4 mois pour créer Rooms of Wonder. Mais maintenant, ça y est, il est fait, tous les dessins sont terminés. Il n'y a plus que le travail d'édition à faire sur ce livre.
So this is a rainbow room that Mia, my daughter, asked for. So up here there is lots of different kinds of weather, and then you make your rainbows, and the rainbows go in the jars, and some books and bits and pieces. Oh, hi Emily.
de dessiner dans le livre. Et sur cette pièce-là, donc on a toutes sortes d'objets. Could you show it once again? I'll display you in big screen.
There you go. So this is the drawing. It's slightly different after I have scanned it in. And for example, this bit here is also on this side in the final drawing. And this, Mia told me, looked like worms. It was meant to be wind. So now this is snowflakes. I'll show you one more.
Wonderful. How wonderful to have pictures of the new book. Of course, we haven't finished Worlds of Wonder in either 30 days, but we are waiting eagerly for the new book, as you know.
Oh, color faster, Barbara.
Alors, je dis à Johanna que je n'ai pas fini ni Mémon de rêver, ni 30 jours de créativité, mais que malgré tout, je suis très impatiente de voir le nouveau livre. Et elle m'a dit que je devais colorier plus vite. I will try to color faster.
So, excuse me, here's 2 pages. On this side, oh, we have a little mushroom room, and the mushrooms are all growing underground in the dark. So there are some stars and jars for light. And then on the other side of that page will be this crazy mushroom pattern. And on every page, there is a hidden key and a door. So here's the door and the key. And I have to highlight them all on here because I lose them and then I can't find them again.
Of wonder, isn't it? On each page, you have to find the key.
You have to find a key and a door. But
A
often
key is a door.
I forget where I've hidden them, so I have to color them in.
Donc, il faut trouver la clé et la porte pour aller sur la page suivante. Mais Johanna oublie où elle les a mis. Et donc, sur ces esquisses, elle les met en jaune pour les retrouver facilement. C'est trop, trop bien. Tu peux afficher
Barbara,
la
have you seen this?
Yes, I have it. Marabout Publisher has sent it to me.
Ah,
yes.
I just got this today.
Today, how wonderful! Johanna nous montre la version française de l'agenda créatif de Johanna BASFORD. This year, it's the same pictures in the French edition than in the English one. So I received the French edition, and it's a very, very good paper, I think.
When did you get your one, Barbara? Because I just got mine today.
I've received it from the publisher, the French publisher, Marabout. They sent it to me at the end of the 2021, so I could have it.
Well, I got mine today.
You see, I have all the years. And here is it. Here is this one, 2022.
Very good.
So next time, let me know and I'll send you one.
You can send me one.
Johanna a reçu le sien qu'aujourd'hui et donc je lui ai dit la prochaine fois, dis-le-moi, je te l'envoie directement. Yes, I love those planners, and I also have the English edition. So that's how I can tell that in French and in English we have the same picture this year. And the previous year, it wasn't the case. So I had all the planners in the 2 editions because they weren't the same pictures in both.
Okay. I don't know why.
Now it's the same. This year, they decided to make the same, so it's better. Next question. Alors, j'affiche la question en français à l'écran. It's a question from Katia, and she asked, how did you came up with the idea of making coloring books for adults? And was it complicated to implement? What happened when you asked to your editor to make it?
So no. a long time ago, an editor asked me to do a children's colouring book because all my illustrations were hand-drawn and black and white, and they would be good for colouring. But I didn't want to do a children's book. I wanted to do one for adults, so it would be really beautiful and sophisticated. And I drew the first 5 pages and I sent them to the publisher and I said, this is what it would look like, to give them an idea. And they said, okay, we'll give it a shot. Maybe it will work, maybe not. So there you go.
Actually, it was the first time a coloring book for adults was edited, so they didn't know if it would work.
Well, I think there have always been adult colouring books. I remember them when I was little, but maybe just not in the same format. And also, when we had the idea, they were like, but where will we sell them? Amazon, there is no colouring category. Where will they go in the bookshop? Because it was different, we didn't know where they would go, so people could find them.
Okay, wonderful. I will translate it for your French followers. Donc, j'ai demandé la question de Katia qui s'affiche à l'écran. Et en fait, Johanna, on lui avait proposé plutôt de faire des livres pour enfants parce qu'elle dessinait très bien des motifs en noir et blanc. Et ce qu'elle a dit à son éditeur, c'est non, moi, je préférerais faire un livre de coloriage pour adultes. Et alors, son éditeur n'était pas très, très chaud. Il a dit oui, un livre de coloriage pour adultes, mais est-ce que ça va se vendre? On n'est pas sûr. Et donc, Johanna lui a fait un premier projet. Elle lui a dessiné quelques pages. Et elle a dit, voilà, ça, c'est ce que je veux faire. Et l'éditeur a dit, OK, on essaye, on verra si ça marche. And then, 10 years later, you have sold 22 millions of coloring books in the world. Et ensuite, 10 ans plus tard, vous avez vendu 22 millions de livres de coloriage dans le monde. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot of books.
A lot of books. Rooms of Wonder will be your 11th one, right?
Yes, I think so. Yes, sounds right. I lose track. I think so.
Donc, Rooms of Wonder, c'est le 11e livre de coloriage de Johanna. Je vais poser la question suivante. Tu peux afficher quelques commentaires du chat pendant qu'on discute, juste après avoir posé la question suivante. Donc, la question suivante, c'est celle d'Aléa. At what age did you start drawing?
Very, very small. I used to draw on the walls in our house when I was a toddler. And
Really?
yeah. And my mother and father, my mum and dad, never told me off. I do not remember getting into trouble. And I wonder if that was what sparked my creativity, which is wonderful. But now my children, when they were little, would draw on the walls. And I was like, oh, don't do that. But also, please be creative. So it's a tricky one. But I think I have been drawing since I was a toddler. Always drawing.
Forever, actually. Donc, Johanna a commencé à dessiner depuis qu'elle était bébé, en fait. Toute petite, Johanna dessinait sur les murs de sa maison. Yes, on the walls. Et ses parents lui ont jamais fait de remarques. En tout cas, elle ne se rappelle pas. Elle était tellement petite, mais elle ne se rappelle pas que ses parents lui aient fait des remarques pour avoir dessiné sur les murs de sa maison. Et donc, c'est certainement ça qui a en fait boosté sa créativité, ce qui lui a permis ensuite d'avoir une grande créativité. I think you have every day lots of ideas, and you've once said that you have more ideas than you could achieve in a lifetime.
Yes, correct.
Donc, Johanna a plus d'idées dans sa tête qu'elle ne pourrait réaliser sur une année. So, how do you choose the next thing you are going to draw? How do you choose among all those ideas? Comment est-ce que vous choisissez, au milieu de toutes ces idées, la prochaine idée que vous allez dessiner?
Well, I usually work on about 5 things at a time. So I'll do a little bit of one thing and then move to the next drawing or project. So just now I have maybe 4 projects I'm working on and I hop around. But I also have lots of notebooks and I'm always afraid that I forget an idea. So I scribble it down or draw a little picture and then I just come back to it later. But I would never in my lifetime draw all the things that I have ideas of, even if I never slept again.
Johanna a tellement d'idées qu'elle ne pourra jamais dessiner ça sur le reste de sa vie, même si elle arrêtait de dormir. Did I understood well? You have actually 4 projects in your head, working currently in your head?
No, happening. So 4 projects that I am working on in the studio, and I just skip from project to project, because if I run out of ideas or I hit a tricky bit in one project, instead of sitting there thinking, I just switch and work on something else. And then this thing that was hard usually resolves itself. So instead of sitting still, I just switch, if that makes sense. Good luck translating that.
I've understood that. I can translate. I'm truthful. Johanna, elle a environ 4 projets sur lesquels elle travaille actuellement. Et en fait, dès qu'elle se sent un peu débordée par un projet, que ça commence un peu à lui prendre la tête, comme on dirait en français, eh bien, simplement, au lieu de s'énerver sur ce projet-là, eh bien, elle change. Elle passe sur l'autre projet. Et comme ça, elle est toujours dans une humeur créative. In that way, am I right if I tell you, so you are always in a positive attitude about all your projects, because as soon as one becomes too overwhelming, can I say that? You switch to the other.
Yes, exactly.
I've understood well. Wonderful. C'est parfait. J'avais très, très bien compris. So Emily says that next year we should make a big coloring party of the 10 years of you being our illustrator of adult coloring books. What do you think? In March 2023, it will be 10 years before and 10 years since Secret Garden.
Wow. Yeah, why not?
Already. Emily always has wonderful idea, isn't it, Emily?
Whose house will we go to?
Sorry?
That's what I wanted. Whose house will we go to for the party?
Is your house big enough for the party?
Possibly not.
Johanna se demande dans quelle maison on fera cette grande fête pour ses 10 ans de coloriage. Elle pense que sa maison n'est pas assez grande pour la fête. We could do a live stream party and seeing lots of us in live stream and coloring together, for example.
I think that's an excellent idea. I think we will definitely mark the occasion, because if we have learned anything in the last couple of years, it is to celebrate the good and happy times as much as possible. So we will definitely do something, I'll think.
That's really, really true. Johanna dit que de toute façon, il faudra célébrer cet événement, parce que ce qu'elle a appris au cours des 2 dernières années, c'est qu'il faut toujours célébrer les bonnes choses, et comme ça, on garde le focus sur les bonnes choses. In that way, we keep the focus on good things, and that's good for our mental health, isn't it?
For sure, definitely.
Would you still have time for 2 or 3 questions?
Let's go. Let's do it. 3 more.
Thank you. We will ask the question of Bleu, Vert et Forêt de Pin, Évariste. Évariste asks, the fact that you're coloring in your own books to make tutorials, for example, does it influence your way of drawing the next book? I suppose he means that you are coloring something and you said, oh, when I'm coloring it, it would be better to draw it differently.
Yes, a little. I think now, very small scale illustrations I love, because they're really detailed and beautiful and intricate, but the very small ones are hard to color, or they take a long time. So I think being a colorist as well as an illustrator is good, because you understand the process and you can draw things that are pleasing to color.
Yes, indeed. I think you are very, very right speaking about that. And that's the difference between drawing and coloring, because when you draw, you can add as many details as you want. And when you're coloring, you see the page, and sometimes you don't have lots of time, and you say, oh, this is too detailed for me for today. So yes, indeed, it's wonderful to have less detailed page when you have not a lot of time. So I'm going just to translate now. Alors, voilà la réponse de Johanna à la question de Évariste. C'est de faire du coloriage en plus, d'être coloriste en plus de dessinatrice. Ça lui a apporté en fait un point de vue intéressant qui était celui de se rendre compte que parfois les pages très très détaillées sont vraiment très longues à colorier et donc c'est intéressant aussi de mixer les deux dans un livre de coloriage, d'avoir certaines pages plus détaillées, certaines pages moins détaillées, ce qui permet vraiment au coloriste de choisir le temps qu'il choisit de consacrer à une nouvelle page de coloriage. Donc oui, Évariste, certainement, le fait de colorier a influencé ses livres suivants. Thank you for answering to our friend Évariste. I have a question from Katia, and she says she saw on your Facebook page that there would soon be a drawing inspired by Harry Potter. You have shared the sketch of that drawing of the owls with the post, the mailbox. And Katia asked you to tell us the story of that drawing.
So the story of that drawing, my eldest daughter, Evie, was off school. She had chicken pox.
Yes.
And she was not very well. So she was at home and I was with her, and she was very sad and itchy and not feeling well. So to cheer her up, I said, I will draw you a page in the new book. What would you like? And she loves Harry Potter. So she said, please, can you draw me a Harry Potter page? So we drew this. I drew a page with owls delivering parcels and letters. And she coloured the picture in that afternoon after I'd finished it. And it passed a little bit of time when she got better, but it was because Evie was not very well.
Yes. So there is already somebody in the world who has colored a page in your new book.
Well, actually, will I let you translate that last answer? Then I'll tell you another story.
Okay, I'll translate this first. Donc, en fait, l'histoire de la page des hiboux inspirée de Harry Potter dans son prochain livre, c'est une page où on voit les hiboux avec les lettres dans un endroit de tri de courrier. Cette page, en fait, elle a été créée par Johanna un jour où sa fille, Evie, avait la varicelle. Elle était vraiment pas bien, elle avait de la fièvre, elle se sentait vraiment pas bien. Et donc, pour lui remonter le moral, Johanna lui a demandé « Qu'est-ce que tu veux que je dessine ? Je dessine une page pour toi dans le prochain livre, c'est toi qui choisis. » Et donc, elle a demandé une page Harry Potter, ce qui fait que Johanna a dessiné pour elle cette page des hiboux. Et donc, le soir, elle a donné la page à Evie pour que Evie puisse la colorier. Et donc, ma question suivante, c'était, donc, il y a déjà une personne dans le monde qui a colorié ton livre, qui n'est pas encore sorti. Et elle m'a dit qu'elle avait une autre histoire à raconter à propos de ça. So, you've told me there was another story to tell about this. So, we are listening.
So, I drop Evie and Mia off at school before I come to the studio in the morning, and we stand outside and I speak to her friends, and they would always say, what are you drawing today? And I would tell them. And then because they are 7 years old, 4 years old, they have so many ideas, and they would say to me, can you draw a room inside a pineapple? And could you draw me an antiques room? And can you draw me a rainbow room? So actually, lots of the rooms in this book are inspired by the ideas that the kids would tell me in the morning before they went into school. And sometimes they would come up and they would have drawings, and they would give me their drawings and say, this is what we think you should draw today. So I have all their drawings on the wall in the studio, and then I would recreate them in my style in the book. And then once their page was finished, I would take a picture and send it to their mum so they could see their page. And the mushroom page was inspired by one of Evie's friends, a little boy who loves Super Mario with Luigi. So he wanted mushrooms. So that is why there is a mushroom page.
How wonderful. Actually, there is a story behind each page, and it's truly interesting for your followers to know the story because it makes the page even more magical.
I know.
I'm translating. Johanna a fait des sessions en fait avec des jeunes enfants et chaque fois elle leur demandait quelle page est-ce que vous voulez dans mon prochain livre. Et donc les jeunes enfants donnaient des idées, différentes idées. Je voudrais une page avec des cacahuètes, Alors, la page avec les champignons est inspirée par un petit garçon qui était fan de l'univers de Mario, le jeu électronique Mario. Et donc, il a demandé une page pleine de champignons. Certains enfants amenaient même leur propre dessin en disant, voilà, c'est ça que je voudrais dans le prochain livre. Et donc, Johanna prenait le dessin et l'adaptait à son style de coloriage pour ensuite renvoyer le dessin à la maman en disant, voilà ce que j'ai créé avec les idées. Donc, derrière chaque page de Rooms of Wonder, en fait, il y a une inspiration, il y a toute une histoire. Et c'est tellement intéressant pour nous de découvrir cette histoire. It's so interesting for us to discover those stories. Do you have a question on the main chat, Chantal? Est-ce qu'on a une question dans le chat principal? Alison says, imagination is key. Yes, you are so right, Alison. Alors, on peut passer à la question suivante. We can ask the next question. It's Marie who asks, where does your inspiration come from?
Just everywhere. I think nowhere specific. I think I just like to soak up lots of different images and I sort of store them away in my head and then they percolate. I don't know why you say that in French. They sort of mix about in your head and become ideas. But I think it is helpful to look at lots of different things, go to museums, read books, walk in nature, all those kind of things, and see as much beautiful things as you can.
Okay, from everywhere, it's really a good answer. It means that creativity is unlocked inside. You can use it everywhere, whatever you are doing in your daily life. I'm going to translate. Alors, l'inspiration, donc la question de Marie, c'était d'où vient ton inspiration? Et Johanna répond, en fait, l'inspiration vient de partout. À tout moment, elle peut avoir de l'inspiration et elle a un petit carnet sur elle et donc elle note ses différentes inspirations chaque fois qu'elle en a une. Et en fait, l'inspiration se trouve partout, mais c'est mieux de voir plein de choses pour nourrir son inspiration. Donc, ça peut être aller au musée, lire des livres ou se promener dans la nature. Tout ça va nourrir votre inspiration. Et si vous avez envie d'avoir un petit carnet, vous notez ensuite votre idée dans le petit carnet. Et comme ça, vous pouvez utiliser cette inspiration à un moment où vous avez l'occasion de la mettre en œuvre. Yes, it's a wonderful question, Alison. I'll translate first the question in French. Alison demande, Johanna, est-ce que tu pourrais raconter, est-ce que tu pourrais remercier Johanna d'avoir mis mon idée de dentier dans le book, dans le livre. Alison says, can you thank Johanna for putting my false teeth idea in the book? Did you tell that story, Johanna? It's hilarious.
So I was drawing a lost property office and I snapped a photograph and shared it on my Instagram and my Facebook. And I said, what is the strangest thing you have ever lost? And I'll draw some of them. And is it Alison said,
Yes.
a set of false teeth? So I drew them in the book. And it is so funny because just before this live video, I was on a call with my publisher in America, and she was telling me that they found a set of false teeth inside an antique sewing machine when they were moving it from my grandmother's house, and they were just laughing, and she told me this story. So I think people lose false teeth a lot, more than you would think.
Really? They just today or yesterday, they told you they have found the false teeth in the sewing machine?
1 hour ago, she told me that story. Just before I came on this call with you, we were talking about false teeth being found and lost. So
How
it happened.
incredible. How incredible. Let me tell that wonderful story to your French followers. Alors, l'histoire du dentier, c'est vraiment une histoire très comique parce que Johanna avait posté sur Facebook une question en disant « Je vais faire une salle des objets trouvés. Dites-moi la chose la plus étrange que vous ayez jamais perdue. » Et quelqu'un lui a répondu moi, c'est ma grand-mère, elle avait perdu son dentier. Et donc, Johanna a ajouté un dentier dans la salle des objets perdus. Mais ce qui est vraiment drôle, c'est que je lui pose cette question aujourd'hui, grâce à la présence d'Alison, qui nous parle de cette idée. Et en fait, juste 1 heure avant que Johanna arrive en live avec nous, son éditeur américain lui a dit que dans justement une machine à coudre de sa grand-mère, on venait de trouver un dentier. Donc, en réalité, Johanna pense que les gens perdent leur dentier un petit peu partout. Il y a peut-être des centaines de dentiers répandus dans les meubles des personnes. Maybe there are hundreds of false teeth in the houses of people that they have lost.
Maybe that's an idea for another book, just a room of false teeth. I'm going to show you my colouring so that you can see what I've been doing. Oh, I can never quite get it right. Hold on. There you go. That's what I've done. I was using Staedtler Ergo Soft pencils. The colours aren't very good in this light. And some Arteza triangular pencils. So the Staedtler ones and the Arteza, both triangles. There you go.
Que Johanna a fait. Alors, je vais zoomer un petit peu sur le mien aussi. I'm going to zoom on mine. You color much faster than I do. I have to tell. I'm going to zoom a little bit on mine so you can see better my berries here. Here they are. I don't have made a lot, so I've used some Prismacolor pencils. Some are really tiny, so you see I glue them on IKEA pencils. So I can use them much longer. You
Wow.
see some are very, very tiny. This is my deco yellow. And I've also used some polychromos pencils. Those two ones are my favorite. Alors,
Nice.
Johanna nous dit qu'elle a utilisé pour faire son coloriage les Staedtler Ergosoft et les Arteza triangulaires. Et moi, j'ai fait mon image avec les Prismacolor et les polychromos. Maybe I'll come back to the face cam so we can maybe ask a last question and then slowly saying goodbye. What do you think?
Perfect. Let's do that.
I'm here. I just set the
Bonjour.
song. Bonjour. You can say bonjour in French. Wonderful.
Oh, I did French at school, but I've forgotten everything. It's very bad.
It's like creativity. It's just a question of practice.
Well, there you go. 10 minutes
So
a day. I'd be
You
fluent.
can have a French chat at any time you want, Johanna.
Magnifique.
Johanna nous dit qu'elle a appris le français à l'école, mais que depuis lors, elle a oublié. Mais c'est comme le coloriage et la créativité, c'est juste une question de pratique. Et donc, voilà, je propose à Johanna d'avoir une discussion en français à n'importe quel moment que tu veux. Chantal, est-ce qu'on a encore une question à afficher? Do we have a last question for Johanna? In the one we haven't asked yet. So, this question is do you one day plan to come to France to make signatures in your books? People come with the book and you can say, hello, I'm Johanna.
Maybe one day. The problem with that is there are people all over the world and people have jobs and families and commitments and can't travel. So I always feel that if you go to one place, then maybe, 50, 100 people, but what about the thousands of other people? So personally, I always prefer to do my book launches online, even before COVID, because I feel you can reach more of your community and you can see more people. And also, I have 2 small children and I do not want to travel with them. So it's better for me as well.
Yes, that's very true, because it would be unfair for the other countries if you come to one country and it would be unfair for the other. So I understand very well, and indeed, your way of making your book release online, it's the best way to reach more people all around the world. So I'm just going to translate now. Voilà, donc Johanna dit, elle aimerait vraiment bien venir en France, par exemple, pour faire une séance de dédicace, mais en même temps, elle a des abonnés et des followers un peu partout dans le monde, et quelque part, c'est un peu injuste Si Johanna vient en France faire une séance de dédicace, bon, les pays juste voisins peuvent venir la rejoindre en France, mais tous les autres pays sont laissés de côté. Donc, c'est un petit peu injuste et c'est pour ça que Johanna a décidé surtout de faire ses lancements et ses sorties de livres en direct sur Internet. Comme ça permet au monde entier de se connecter. I just have two last questions if you have 5 minutes. First one.
Okay, I have another call at 4, so we have to.
Okay, I'm going to hurry. Did you imagine that you would have such a worldwide audience when you have begun to make coloring books? Est-ce que tu imaginais que tu aurais une audience tellement large quand tu as commencé à faire des livres de coloriage?
No. We printed 13,000 copies to begin with, and I thought my mum was going to have to buy a lot because I didn't. Who knew? It was an adult coloring book. We didn't think they would do very well. It was just a project that I loved. So no, I didn't know.
Johanna ne s'attendait pas du tout à avoir une aussi large audience. How many books did you print the first time? I haven't understood.
13,000.
13,000. La première fois, elle a imprimé 13 000 livres de coloriage et elle avait tellement peur de ne pas les vendre qu'elle a demandé à sa maman d'en acheter plusieurs pour être sûre d'en vendre quelques-uns. How wonderful. Well, I won't take more of your time, but I thank you from the bottom of my heart, Johanna, for speaking today for the French part of your community and, of course, the English-speaking part of your community. It was wonderful for us to have you here today for the release of the wonderful book, 30 Days of Creativity. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It was lovely, and your English is amazing. I wish I could speak French like that. Yeah.
I've learned English on social media, speaking on Instagram with other colorists. Yes.
No.
I did.
That's amazing.
Really, it warms my heart that you say that my English is good. I'm very happy to hear it. Voilà, Johanna est très, très heureuse d'avoir fait ce live avec vous et que vous ayez pu entendre en français ces questions. Elle me félicite pour mon anglais, ce qui est très étonnant parce que, comme je viens de lui dire, j'ai appris l'anglais sur les réseaux sociaux, comme quoi on peut tout apprendre en pratiquant un tout petit peu chaque jour. It's actually practicing a little bit every day is the best way to learn something, and indeed, it's been 4 years that I speak English every day on social media. So that's how I've learned, and we can do the same with our creativity.
Très bien.
Très bien. Parfait. Merci 1000 fois, Johanna. Merci à tous d'être venus. Je vais lire le chat après. Comme ça, je pourrai lire tous vos petits commentaires. Merci beaucoup. Thank you a million for coming here. And I hope to see you very soon for news about your new book, Rooms of Wonder.
Okay, will do. Au revoir.
Bye bye. Je peux enlever Johanna du studio. Ok, je vous dis au revoir les petits amis et je vous retrouve très bientôt pour de nouvelles aventures en vidéo. Merci beaucoup. Coupez le direct.